crafty besties. I just thought I would pop on here, no long intro or anything, and discuss a little bit about stamping, coloring, and fussy cutting. This isn't going to be a very long video at all, just wanted to go over some of the basics. So in my last video, if you went back and watched it, you can go back and watch it again. I spoke about stamping and a little bit of die cutting. This time I'm going to talk about stamping and some coloring and also some fussy cutting. I'm just going to grab my fussy cutting scissors. You can use any kind of scissors that you like. These are my favorite scissors to use. These are spring loaded and really great on the wrist. I did a lot of cutting out today at my church, and I was there for a couple of hours and I had no wrist pain, so these are great. You can also just use a regular scissor like this. The smaller the tip of the scissor, the easier it will be for you to cut. So don't use extra large scissors. Get yourself something a little bit smaller like this. So that'll be at the end of the video. We'll do some fussy cutting. And I just wanted to go over a little bit of stamping with you. These are my acrylic blocks I have. A little dirty, but that's okay. I was using them a few days ago. This is my smaller one, square. Then I have a couple of long ones for these, make for great sentiment stamps. So if you have a nice long sentiment stamp, you can put on here. Then I have a grid one. This one, I needed something a little bit bigger than this, but smaller than this giant, really heavy one. This is real thick, real heavy, but this is great for those background stamps that you may have and you need something a bit larger. So we won't be using this big one tonight. And I'm going to put these others to the side. I think I'm going to go with this one here. I really like this one because it has the grid so you can make sure that your stamp is on there straight. And I'm also going to use some Memento Tuxedo Black dye ink. It looks like this. So it has the pad full of ink ready to go. I've had this for a while already and it's still juicy and has no issue making a nice clean stamped image. This one is from Stampin' Up. You can get this at local craft store, I suppose. I also have Versamark ink. This one is great for embossing. As you can see that it's clear and it's a fairly sticky ink and it doesn't dry as quickly, and we will use that for heat embossing. So I may do that in a little while. I'm not really sure yet, but let's just concentrate right now on just regular stamping. So if you haven't watched the earlier video, when we want to stamp our image, this is a really cute, I thought it's Christmas. People love Christmas cookies. This would make a great tag, or I have some tags I'm going to do maybe later. So why not color and fussy cut some cookies? Cookies and milk, cookies on a baking sheet, a little one with in the gift box, and a nice one in the little mason jar. So let's take this out. I'm going to take our the sheet off, the little protective sheet. And these ones I've used a few times, but not overly. So if you're using it for the first time, you can always take your thumb and just rub over the top, and if there's any debris or anything there that might get in the way of getting a nice clean stamped image, it will get rid of it. I also spoke about this, I call it a stamping pad. It's not a stamping pad, it's a paper piercing pad. You're probably tired of me saying this, but I really love it because it's got a little bit of give, but it's still sturdy. A self-healing mat will work just as well underneath your paper. This is 65-pound cardstock, and I'm going to just put my stamping pad underneath, cardstock on top. Just move that to the side for a moment. And then I have my acrylic block, and because this has grid lines on it, I can put my stamped image straight down there. If you want to turn it over so you can push it down, make sure that it's all straight. That's great. And now I'm going to stamp. So I'm going to take my stamping pad, my ink pad, and I'm going to go straight up, straight down. Don't rock it. Don't do any kind of circular motion because it will cause the ink to go where you do not want it to go. So straight up and straight down across your stamp gives you a nice clear stamped image. Just gonna wipe that a little bit. It shouldn't transfer to your paper, but just in case. Okay, so let's bring our paper back in. And now I'm gonna stamp. And the same thing with the ink pad I'm going to do with the acrylic block. I'm going to go straight down and I'm going to come straight back up. Straight down. And if you like, you can put some pressure, especially around the edges. And there you go. Really nice, clean image. Now I did get a little smear here and there, and that's fine because I'm going to be cutting this completely out of this paper. So you won't see any of that. If you were going to cut this and then cut it out around here. I don't think I've shown you my ink eraser. I've shown you my glue eraser, the one that takes excess glue off. But this is a different eraser. This is a sand eraser. So it just takes the top portion of the paper off, like just a little bit. And it can get rid of some of these little mistakes and little smudges. Not perfect, but if you had a really big smudge, it would certainly help. That looks a little bit better. That's fine. Not going to worry too much about that. So this is what it looks like on 65-pound white cardstock. Let's try a different color, just so you can see the difference. Okay, so now I have craft paper cardstock. I believe this one is also 65-pound. It feels a tiny bit thicker. I got this one at my local dollar store, and I do really like it for some different cards. Some of the cards that I use for like landscaping themed cards, this craft paper is really nice. So again, what I'm doing is, it may not look like it, but I'm doing an up and down motion. I'm just going quickly and making sure my stamp is completely covered. Taking my rag and just do that. And let's stamp. So, okay. So this is what it looks like on the white, and then you have the brown. I actually really like that. You could just cut that out just like it is and just stick it right on a tag or put it on a card. That would be awesome. And now I have more of a cream color. This is 110-pound cardstock, so is it thicker, sturdier, not as flimsy. I just wanted to see what this one would look like, just out of curiosity. What can I tell you? I'm a nosy Nora. I need to know. I need to have all the info. So, again, with my stamping, I'm hoping you can see it. I'm in frame here. Straight up and down. Got a little on the edge, that's fine. Take my cloth. This is just a microfiber cloth. I got a bunch of these. Again, at my local dollar store. I love my dollar store for all these little extra supplies that I get. Saves me a bundle of money. Sometimes you can just get the cheaper items at the dollar store and then save your money for those more expensive things that you want. Again, straight down, little pressure, and straight up. So here are my three different, so as you can see, they look different on different types of paper. I really love this one. I think that one's going to look really cute on a tag, a Christmas tag. That'd be great for Christmas cookies if you're going to give somebody Christmas cookies and it has a little Christmas cookie tag. So that's the basics of stamping. Like I said, when you're using your acrylic block and you're putting your stamp image on your paper, don't rock it back and forth. Don't push it too hard. Some of these stamps are very firm and then some are a little bit more flimsy. So if you push too hard, you may end up smearing your ink. So that's it for the basics of stamping. If anybody has any questions about stamping or techniques, just feel free to comment and I can always do another video and we can talk about that. So now we're going to go to coloring. I use generally alcohol markers. I have Ohuhu markers. They look like this. They're a little bit worse for the wear. I've been using them the past couple of days, so you know, you have to forgive me for that they're not pristine, but you can see that they are well loved. So these are alcohol markers. One side has a brush tip. I prefer a brush to a nib. It's just feel like it gives me more control. And then you have the broad chisel tip. And that's good for really large areas. I don't generally use that. I like a more precise tip when I'm using my markers. So if we're going to color this in, I think I'm just going to color, let's color the pan. So the pan would be gray. Let's see what we have in gray. So I have this one, which is a cool gray, like that. I just took some paper and colored it in and then stuck it on the end so I could see what I have. This one is a cool gray 2, number 4, and this one's a cool gray 7, cool gray 2, number 7. So like totally different colors, still gray. So what I always do is take a piece of paper, just a little scrap, and make a little line to see what my colors will look like. So I got, this one's a bit lighter, and then this one is a little bit darker. And I think I have something that's really light. This is a cool gray 2, 0. So I have a really light, and then I have a medium, and then I have a dark. So starting with the light color, you can start however you like. Practice. I've practiced a lot. I'm still not the best at it, but I prefer to go in with some light color, and then you can add the dark for shadows and whatnot later. So I'm just going to start very carefully going around the edge. These markers are wonderful. They weren't cheap. They were a little bit pricey, but to me they were worth it. I get caught up sometimes in coloring, so if I stumble over my words a little, it's okay. And I'm left-handed, so sometimes it makes it even a little bit more awkward. So I'm not going to be perfect on this. I'm just going to go around these edges here. Hopefully you can see this. Follow along. And when I come into a little bit of a surface area, I like to make small tight circles. So making small tight circles, you're not going to get that streaky look. And you just need a very light hand when you're doing this. You don't need to press very hard. Just nice tight circles like so. And you can go in and around, and we're going to color the cookies in a different color. So obviously we're not going to make gray cookies, are we? These look like chocolate chip to me. I make a great chocolate chip cookie. What's your favorite cookie to make? I guess everybody is busy making their Christmas cookies right now. I'm not a big Christmas cookie maker as such. Make a few maybe. But I know if I make cookies for Christmas, I will eat them all myself. I'm a real cookie monster. I love a cookie. So, and I'm just carefully going around. And if you make a mistake and if you go too far in, especially this is why I started with the lighter color, you can always go over it with the darker, especially on the cookie where it's probably going to be brown. And you kind of want to work a little bit, semi-quickly if you can. But these markers, the Ohuhu markers, generally blend very well. They look very nice, I must say. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure to get a nice color. Here we go, almost done. And I'm thinking that this piece here may be aluminum foil. We call it tin foil where I am. So I'm gonna go with this a little bit darker color. It's this one here. I think. See, I don't know, maybe they got these mixed up. Nope, okay, so this is the darkest one there. And I'm just gonna very lightly go in and just fill this all in. There we go. So we're uncovering our cookies and showing what we've made. And of course it looks delicious. It's making me hungry for a snack. And you can turn your paper if you like. Just go at your own pace. Sometimes I like to just put on a show or a movie or something if I'm going to color for a little while. Make sure you take lots of breaks because this can really hurt your eyes and, can cause you to have a bad back or sore wrist. So, coloring takes lots and lots and lots of patience. Okay, so we have our pan and we have our little aluminum foil. I don't know if I'm going to use this darker color or not. Maybe not. And for now, I'm just going to color in the brown on the cookies because if not, you're going to watch me here all night coloring in each cookie. So this is a little bit of a lighter brown like this. So these are indeed chocolate chip. And if I want to go over the entire cookie, I can because I'm going to come in with that darker brown because we all know how dark chocolate chips can be. And just put in for my chocolate chips and we'll cover up that lighter color right away. And we're just making little circles. And then looks like somebody snuck in the kitchen and took a nice big bite of that one. Probably my hubby. He's also a Cookie Monster. He likes to sneak cookies. He likes to see whatever it is I'm making and ask, "Can I eat that batter?" I tell him no. There's raw this and there's raw that in there. Don't eat that. So if I didn't tell him, he would probably end up eating it and get sick. And we wouldn't want that. So when you're coloring, and so obviously you can see I've colored over all of the chocolate chips on this. Just give this a few minutes to dry down before you start trying to put on the chocolate chips part with your darker brown color. If not, it will just tend to bleed right into the other color. So we just give it a little bit of time to just settle in. And if we wanted to, we could go in with our little bit of a darker color. And wherever our lines are, we can cover over those lines and just give it a little bit more interest. There. There. Like that. Just gives a little bit of life to this little cookie sheet we got here. Okay, and if you really wanted to get adventurous, you could go around the edges and do a little bit of shadowing. I'm not going to do that right now because that's a little bit more advanced. I just wanted to do the basics. So let's see now if I can take another brown and fill in those chocolate chips. So, oh yes, okay, so that's a nice brown for our chocolate chips. And I'm just gonna lightly tap. Lightly tap. Don't need hardly any pressure at all. Maybe you got a chocolate chunk here or something. You know, maybe these aren't chocolate chip cookies. Maybe they're something else. And you want to color it a different color. Maybe you want to have an M&M cookie and have all different colors. Go for it. Whatever you like, whatever your imagination will let you do it. Because this is what it's all about. Okay. There we go. So cute. Okay, so now that we have our image stamped and colored, we are going to fussy cut. So let's get out our scissors here. I'm going to grab these big ones just to cut out around my image, taking away all this excess. I don't need all that. That can go to the side. And here are my scissors that I'm going to use. And the secret to fussy cutting anything is to not move your scissors. It is to move your paper. So if we want to start in the corner, I'm going to come right up to the line, but not over the line. At least I try not to. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just depends. Sometimes I end up getting the line, and that's fine. And now I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to turn it. Turning. And I'm going to come up straight. And then I'm going to go around, moving my paper, not moving my scissors. I have my arm steadied against my desk so that really I can't move. Sure, I can move my wrist a little, but moving the paper is very important. And if I want, I can just cut that whole part off. I'm going to come in again, come around my corner. Whoops. Mistakes will be made, and that's totally okay. And if you want to go along the little jagged edge here, nothing about this is going to be perfect unless you're practicing for years and years and years. And I've been practicing fussy cutting for a really long time, and I'm still not the best at it. Still not the greatest or anything. I see a lot of people out there who are fantastic at it, but I just get by. I get by because I'm cute. And up this side, leave yourself a little bit of paper to work with here to hold on to. And we're at the end, so we're just gonna cross like that. And there's our little image. And this is great for times when you have a stamp set and you don't have the die cut to match, because we all can't afford all the time to have the matching die set. I bought a set of stamps for Christmas a little while ago. I won't say where I ordered them from, but to buy the dies and the stamps together was an outrageous amount of money. So I had to choose between having the stamps and having the dies. I chose the stamps, and maybe someday down the road I will go ahead and order the dies as well. But for now, I'm just going to use my scissors and just fussy cut it out. And like I said, it's not perfect, but it is really cute. I think it's cute. And I have a couple other examples of how I fussy cut. This is a little reindeer I did the other day. This was a little more difficult because of the antlers, but all I did was come in to my antlers like this and snip, snip, and then I came in on an angle and I snipped. There's been plenty of times when I've snipped the entire thing off and had to start over, but it's fine. That's, why we have stamps and inks and lots of paper, so that if we make a mistake, we can always start over again. So we got our Christmas cookies. We have our little reindeer with his candy cane, and look at this cute little penguin. So sweet. I really love stamps and I love the color. And I just did really basic coloring on these because they're so small. It's very difficult to try to make any kind of detail on it. I did use, if you notice, that the belly on this reindeer is glittery. I used what's called Wink of Stella. Let me see if I have it. So this is Wink of Stella. It's like a glitter pen. It looks like a paintbrush, like that. And you just take it, push the sides, and the glitter will come down for you. Let's see if I can get it to come down. And is beautiful, iridescent. I just absolutely love it. And this is how it dries, and it dries so nicely, no streakiness. And it's just beautiful. I love it. I didn't have this when I began, and I knew I just had to get one. They're pricey, but you can get different colors. You can get white, you can get silver, you can get gold. There's all different colors. You can get clear. I think this one here might be silver. Yeah, this one is a silver color or a bronze. I'm not sure. It looks silver there and it looks bronze over here, but this one is a great investment for sure. So for now, that's all I'm going to do with that. And the next episode of my videos will probably be maybe heat embossing, some masking of stamps maybe, and we might even make a few Christmas tags. So stick around, and if you like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. This is the card making coach signing off. Bye bye.